Well, as I continue to dismantle this early 1900s Smith manufacturing manure spreader known as the Great Western, my goal this week is to get the front and rear axle out from underneath it, so I think I'll be down to just the bare bones of what's left. Well, it's nice to see that the casting on this right side is actually in two pieces. It's going to allow me to take them off individually. This one should spin free on the axle. This one has a set screw on the bottom that's missing, but this should come off. And then with that side free, this being a solid piece casting, I should be able to work this back rod and the axle individually in this housing. So as this sets all together, it's got to weigh a ton. I may see if I can get this side off, diminish a little bit of weight, then maybe see if I can get it up on my bench pseudo table saw, see if I can get that end off. Well, through the process of doing all my sandblasting, cleaning these up, I'm able to inspect them a little closer. And I have one bar here that needs a little bit of repair on the end, but the main axle is actually in pretty good shape. So this shaft here is the right side, which has this housing here, fits on the end like so. And this shaft on the other side is what holds the main drive sprocket that drives the beater. So this end fits in here pretty solid. It doesn't have to move, it has a set screw, but it's got a fair bit of wear here and also in through here. Possibly this might be where some of the apron was dragging and wearing that. So I don't think I have to turn this on a lathe, but I'm going to build this back up a bit just to where this will fit here a little more securely. I could rotate it and gain some, but that won't be too bad to build back up. So this is the housing that holds the axle that would be on the left side. And this is the housing that holds the axle on the right side. So the axle is turning in this housing right in this area here, and it doesn't show a lot of wear. And the hub sits in this position here. Well, this is pretty well pitted out, which kind of struck me kind of odd, thinking like a buggy or a wagon wheel that this hub is rotating. But actually this hub is pretty stationary as it locks into this housing here and drives the axle, so this hub doesn't rotate a lot on this portion of the axle. So I don't have to really worry too much about this pitting here, I don't think. And this section here is actually pretty good, and that's what's going to be rotating the most consistently. So this pretty much completes the disassembly of the rear axle, short of a couple little repairs. Next is to get to that front axle. Well, this completes the disassembly of the front axle as well as the rear axle. You notice I tried different penetrating oils. I have my blaster, I tried some wax. Some have suggested a combination 50-50 acetone and ATF. That's what I have in this oil can. I'm not totally convinced yet. I've got to sandblast this up, and I have the front rod with the two cogs that run the chain left to come apart. And that's where I'm really going to try this 50-50 mix, acetone and ATF. That's coming up next. Appreciate you following along. Thanks for watching.